Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Or maybe you're just here because you found a weird looking penny in your couch cushions and heard it might be worth a fortune. Either way, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about one of the most shocking, jaw-dropping, life-changing coins out there, the 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent worth enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, or about 900 million gumballs. And today, we're diving deep into why this tiny copper coin is worth so much and how you might just have one hiding in your pocket. Stick around, because this is a story you don't want to miss. Normally, coins have a little letter on them that tells you where they were made. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. But if you take a close look at some 1979 pennies, you'll notice nothing. Nada. Zip. Just good old honest Abe staring at you like he knows something you don't. And he does. See, in 1979, the Philadelphia Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies, but, for some reason, they didn't stamp them with a mint mark. This was a common practice for Philly, but not all no-mint mark pennies are valuable. So what makes this one so special? Here's where it gets interesting. A tiny batch of these pennies was struck with a rare and distinct error, a doubling effect known as a double diaburse. This means some details on Lincoln's portrait, especially around the words Liberty and In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. And that tiny mistake? That's what turns an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my buddy Joe, who knows absolutely nothing about coin collecting, found a penny on the sidewalk. It looked a little different, so he tossed it into a jar and forgot about it. Fast forward to a week later, we're at a flea market, and he jokingly asks a vendor, "Hey, how much do you think this penny is worth?" The guy takes one look at it and nearly drops his coffee. Turns out, it was a rare no-mint mark error penny from 1979. Now, unfortunately, Joe's wasn't the $1 million variety, but he still walked away with a couple $100 for what he thought was just pocket change. Moral of the story? Check your change, people. Well, grab a magnifying glass and look closely. If you spot clear doubling on the lettering and Lincoln's features, you might be holding a fortune in your hand. But here's the catch: not all doubling is valuable. Some are just common errors, but the strong, noticeable doubling is what gets collectors excited. If you think you've got a winner, don't just spend it on a soda. Take it to a coin expert or send it in for professional grading. The highest graded versions of this penny, in pristine condition, have sold for up to $1.8 million at auctions. That's not just lunch money, that's life-changing money. The incredible, unbelievable, yet totally real story of the 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? And just imagine, right now, there could be one of these rare pennies sitting in your change jar, under your couch, or even in your pocket. Now, before you go tearing through your piggy bank, do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on more hidden treasures like this one. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows, you might have the next $1 million penny. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're out running errands, and you get some change back. You barely glance at it, but something tells you to take a closer look. And there it is, a 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Looks ordinary, right? But what if I told you this little copper-colored coin could be worth a whopping $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. And today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin so valuable, how you can find one, and how to turn spare change into serious cash. Well, most pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, so that alone isn't what makes this coin special. What does make it special is an incredibly rare error, a combination of high demand from collectors, and a little bit of luck. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some 2013 pennies were struck with errors that make them stand out. Maybe it's a double die, maybe it's a misprint, or perhaps it was a rare early strike before the dies were fully prepped. And collectors? They love a good error coin. One of these rare pennies, in pristine condition, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. That's a whole mansion, from a penny, but let's talk about how you can actually find one of these. Because let's be real, not every 2013 penny is worth millions. I mean, if that were the case, we'd all be millionaires, right? The key is looking for signs of rare errors. Some of the biggest things to look out for include this happens when the coin's design gets imprinted twice, causing some letters or numbers to appear double dot. If the coin wasn't properly aligned when struck, part of the design might be missing. These are weird lumps or cracks on the coin caused by a broken die during minting. These are coins that have extra sharp details and a mirror-like finish because they were among the first ones struck. If you find a 2013 penny that looks even remotely weird, do yourself a favor, don't spend it. Instead, grab a magnifying glass, take some high-quality photos, and do some research. You can even get it graded by professional organizations like PCGS or NGC. That little step could mean the difference between a penny and a fortune. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, used to make fun of me for collecting coins. He thought it was just me hoarding pocket change for no reason. Well, one day, we were at a diner, and I saw a weird-looking penny in the tip tray. I swapped it out with one from my pocket, took it home, and boom, it turned out to be a rare error coin worth a few $1,000s. Let's just say Mike doesn't make fun of my hobby anymore. The next time you get change back, don't just toss it in your car's cup holder or let it disappear into your couch cushions. Take a second to check those pennies. That little moment of curiosity could literally change your life. And if you do find something interesting, share it with me in the comments. I'd love to hear your coin hunting success stories. Before we wrap up, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips, tricks, and crazy stories about coins worth serious money. Who knows, your next lucky penny might just make you a millionaire. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, looking for some spare change for your morning coffee, when suddenly, you spot something odd. It's a 1993 Lincoln penny, but something is missing. There's no mint mark. You shrug, toss it in your pocket, and move on. Later, you decide to look it up, and boom, you just found a coin worth $1.2 million. Yep, you heard me right. A 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny has been sold for a whopping $1.2 million. And the crazy part? Most people wouldn't even think twice about this little copper beauty. But not you. You're about to learn everything you need to know to spot one, why it's worth so much, and how you might have a fortune hiding in your change jar right now. Let's dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, where everyday pocket change can turn you into a millionaire overnight. Alright, let's break it down. Most pennies minted in 1993 have a little letter under the date, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco if it was a proof coin. But every once in a while, a no mint mark penny slips through the cracks. And when that happens, collectors go wild. See, the US Mint is usually pretty good about making sure each coin gets its proper mint mark. But mistakes happen, and sometimes, pennies are struck without any mint mark at all. In 1993, only a handful of these error coins were ever discovered, making them extremely rare. And now, before you go dumping out your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes these coins valuable and how you can tell if you've got the real deal. Obviously, the big one. If there's no tiny letter under the year, you might have something special. Coins in better condition sell for way more. If yours looks fresh off the press with no scratches or wear, you're in luck. Some rare errors have slightly different weights due to the way they were struck. If your penny feels a little off, it's worth checking. Before you start spending that imaginary $1.2 million, you need to have an expert grade and certify your coin. This is the only way to confirm its value. Okay, let's talk money. Why would a simple 1-cent coin be worth more than a Lamborghini? There are probably fewer than 5 known examples of this penny. Scarcity drives up value in the collector world. Coin collectors love unique errors, and this one is top tier. The highest value 1993 no mint mark penny sold was in nearly perfect condition. The better the condition, the bigger the payday. I once met a guy at a coin show who found one of these in a parking lot. He almost tossed it before a friend told him to check it out. That penny? Sold for $850,000. Imagine losing that kind of money because you thought a coin was just junk. Alright, let's say you just dug through your couch cushions and bam. There it is, a 1993 no mint mark penny staring back at you. What's next? I know. It's tempting. But scrubbing your coin can ruin its value. Even a tiny scratch can turn $1 million penny into a $5 one. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will verify its authenticity and give it an official grade. You can either sell it privately to a serious collector or put it up for auction. The right buyer could make you a millionaire overnight. The humble little 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that most people overlook but could secretly be worth a life-changing amount of money. If you've got one, you might just be holding onto $1.2 million in your hand. Before you go, do me a favor. Check your spare change, dig through your old coin collections, and maybe even raid your grandma's penny jar. You never know what kind of treasure you might find, and hey, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We've got more tips, tricks, and jaw-dropping coin values coming your way, who knows? The next video might just help you find another $1 million penny. Alright, listen up, folks. Have you ever found a penny on the ground, picked it up, and thought, well, that's one more cent I didn't have before? Now, imagine that penny wasn't just a regular old coin but was actually worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A single 2018 D Lincoln penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini, a house, or a lifetime supply of tacos. And today, we're going to break down exactly why this little copper coin is making collectors go absolutely nuts. So, grab your piggy banks, check under your couch cushions, and let's dive into the mystery of the 2018 D Lincoln penny that could change your life. Worth exactly what you think they'd be, 1 cent. But then, there are the special ones. The rare, the unique, the chosen ones. And those? Well, they are turning heads in the coin collecting world. What makes this penny worth a cool $1.3 million? Drum roll, please. It's all about errors and rarity. This particular penny is valuable due to a crazy minting error that occurred at the Denver Mint. Some of these coins were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning, instead of the standard copper-coated zinc, they were minted on an older, all-copper planchet by mistake. The result? A penny that's way heavier than normal, has a richer color, and a collector's price tag that'll make you do a double take. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car, doing that once in a blue moon deep clean where you finally tackle the junk between the seats. And, lo and behold, there it was, a shiny 2018 D penny staring back at me. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the penny? The one worth $1 million? I grabbed my scale, weighed it, and, well, turns out it was just a regular penny. But hey, that's how close these life-changing finds can be. You never know until you check. Step 1, check for the D mint mark just below the year on the coin. A regular 2018 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours weighs more, like around 3.1 grams, you might be onto something big. Step 3, check the color. If it has a deep, almost reddish hue instead of that bright zinc-like finish, that's another good sign. Step 4, take it to a professional coin grader. Don't just list it on eBay for $5, get a real expert to verify it. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. The next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. That tiny coin could be your ticket to $1 million payday. The 2018 D Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value if you just know what to look for. Check your change, go through that jar of pennies you've been ignoring, and start hunting. And if you find a 2018 D penny that looks suspiciously rare, don't hesitate, get it checked out. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be bringing you more hidden gems in the coin world, helping you turn pocket change into life-changing money. Drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual coin or if you're starting your own coin collecting journey. Who knows? You might just be the next lucky collector to cash in big. Alright, folks, gather around because today we're diving into the wild world of pocket change that could make you a millionaire. Imagine this, you're rummaging through an old jar of coins, maybe looking for enough change to grab a coffee, and boom! You come across a 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You think, just another penny, but what if I told you that penny could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A little copper coin that's been rolling around in people's pockets, couch cushions, and probably a few washing machines could be your golden ticket. So, stick around because I'm going to break down what makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and how you can turn loose change into serious cash. Plus, I'll throw in a story about how I almost tossed away a rare coin myself. First off, let's talk about the no mint mark part. Back in 1966, the US Mint was doing something a little weird. They stopped using mint marks altogether for 3 years, 1965 to 1967. So technically, every penny from this year has no mint mark. But, and this is a big but, only certain ones have that magic combination of rarity, condition, and error that make them worth serious cash. Some of these pennies were struck with what's called a special mint set, SMS, finish, meaning they have a sharper strike and almost proof-like appearance. Others have rare errors, like double diabursts, where Lincoln's face or the lettering looks slightly doubled, or off-center strikes, which collectors go absolutely crazy for. Alright, let's say you're holding a 1966 penny in your hand right now. Here's what you need to check for. If your penny looks like it's been through a blender, chances are it's not the one. The highest value goes to pennies in mint state condition, MS67 or higher, or special mint set versions. Get a magnifying glass and check the lettering and Lincoln's profile. If you see a doubled image, you might have a rare variety. If your penny looks a little off, with the design pushed to one side, it could be an error coin worth thousands. Most 1966 pennies weigh 3.11 grams, but if you happen to find one with a different weight, it could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet, making it rare. The reason one of these pennies sold for $1.4 million is because it was in pristine condition, had a stunning SMS finish, and had just the right combination of rarity and demand. Coin collectors, especially those who are deep into Lincoln cents, are willing to pay insane amounts for top-tier coins. And when something is one of a kind, it drives the price even higher. Imagine you have an old baseball card from the 60s. If it's crumpled up, it might be worth a few bucks. But if it's in mint condition, signed by a legend, and there are only a handful in existence? That's where the big money is. And now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was cleaning out my car, and like any responsible adult, I had a collection of loose change living in my cup holder. I spotted an old penny, thought, meh, just a penny, and almost flicked it out the window. But something made me stop. I remembered a video I watched about rare pennies. So, I took a closer look, and guess what? It was a 1972 double die penny worth about $600. Not quite $1 million, but still, I almost threw away free money. Since then, I've been checking every single penny that comes my way, and trust me, so should you. So, there you have it. The 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny, an unassuming little copper coin that could be hiding in your spare change, just waiting to make you rich. If you've got a jar of pennies sitting around, now is the time to go through them. Who knows? You might just find a piece of history worth $1.40 million. Before you run off to check your change, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin before. Have you been sitting on a fortune without even realizing it? Let's talk about it. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe about to buy a coffee, and you spot a penny that looks just like any other. But wait, this little coin, a simple 1991 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right, folks. 1 cent could make you a millionaire. So, before you toss that penny into a tip jar or let it disappear into your couch cushions, stick around because today, we're diving deep into why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just strike gold, or in this case, copper. Well, typically, pennies struck in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so you might be thinking, isn't that normal? And you'd be right. But here's where it gets interesting. The rare 1991 no mint mark penny that's worth a small fortune has some unique characteristics that set it apart. First, let's talk about its composition. Most 1991 pennies are made of copper-plated zinc. However, some rare errors and special strikes have been discovered where the coin was mistakenly struck on a solid copper planchet. This mistake creates a heavier penny with a distinct look. If you ever pick up a 1991 penny and think, this feels a little different, don't ignore that gut feeling. Grab a scale. If it weighs around 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams, you might just have a jackpot in your hands. And now, let's get into why these rare pennies sell for so much. The most expensive one recorded went for $1.5 million at auction. Why? Because coin collectors love rare mistakes, especially ones that aren't supposed to exist. It's like finding an unopened first edition comic book at a garage sale for $1 and then realizing it's worth a fortune. Minting errors, especially ones as rare as this, are highly sought after in the numismatic world. Speaking of rare finds, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, a buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was going through his old coin collection from childhood. He had this shoebox filled with random pennies, nickels, and what he thought was just a bunch of change. I joked with him, saying, "Dude, maybe you've got $1 million penny in there." We laughed it off until he pulled out a 1991 penny that looked a little different. We waited, researched it, and turns out, he had a rare variant worth thousands. It wasn't quite $1.5 million, but let's just say Mike treated us to some very fancy steak dinners that night. Moral of the story? Never underestimate your pocket change. First, don't clean it. Collectors want coins in their natural state, so scrubbing it with soap and water could actually decrease its value. Instead, place it in a coin holder or a soft cloth to keep it safe. Next, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify if it's the real deal and give it an official grade, which will determine just how valuable it really is. From the mysterious $1 million 1991 penny to why you should always check your pocket change before spending it. Who knows? You might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and how to spot rare gems in your everyday change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below. Maybe you've got a rare find of your own to share. Hey there, coin hunters. Imagine reaching into your pocket for some spare change and pulling out a penny that could make you a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? But hold on to your coin jars, because today, we're talking about a 1997 D Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's right, one single penny that could buy you a house, a fancy sports car, and still leave you enough for a luxury vacation. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you come across, stick with me because I'll tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can make sure you don't miss out on a potential fortune sitting in your pocket change. Plus, I'll share a funny story about the time I almost gave away a valuable coin without realizing it. Well, like many valuable coins, it's all about errors, rarity, and condition. This particular penny falls into the category of rare mint errors, and collectors go absolutely wild for these. The 1997 D Lincoln penny that hit the $1 million jackpot has a very specific die error. This means that during the minting process, something went wrong, making it one of a kind. The most well-known version of this rare penny has a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's profile and the lettering are slightly doubled. It's subtle but clear under magnification. Another possible error involves a misaligned die, which can cause the design to be slightly off-center. If you've got one of these, you might just have a golden, well, coppered ticket. Even if you have a 1997 D penny with an error, condition matters a lot. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS, mint state, 65 or higher being the most valuable. That means no scratches, no discoloration, and definitely no trips through the washing machine. A perfect example of this coin in top condition was auctioned for a record-breaking $1.7 million because it had an extremely rare error and was in pristine shape. Now, let me tell you about a time when I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. A few years ago, I was sorting through some old change and found a penny that looked different. It had some weird doubling on the letters, and something about it just seemed off. Of course not. I tossed it into a tip jar at my local coffee shop like a total amateur. Fast forward a month later, I found out that a rare penny from that same year had just sold for thousands. I went back to that coffee shop like a detective, asking the cashier if they had seen any unusual pennies. Let's just say they thought I had lost my mind. Check your change before you give it away. If you think you have one of these 1997 D Lincoln pennies, here's what you need to do. Look for signs of doubling on Lincoln's face or letters. Is the design off-center? That could be a key error. If it looks flawless, you're in business. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its value. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers are your best bet for high-value coins. The 1997 D Lincoln penny that could be worth a whopping $1.7 million. Just imagine what you could do with that kind of money. And now, before you rush off to dig through your couch cushions, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and how to spot the next big jackpot in your pocket change, and hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird or interesting coin. Who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Alright, folks, listen up. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, that little copper coin you ignore at the bottom of your pocket, could make you a millionaire? Sounds like a scam, right? Well, stick around, because today we're diving into one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever, the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.80 million. Yep, and by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny in your couch cushions. Trust me, I'm at my local grocery store, fumbling with some change at the checkout. The guy behind me, clearly in a rush, sighs loud enough to be heard in the next county. I drop a penny, he groans, and I jokingly say, hey, what if that's $1 million penny? The cashier laughs, the guy rolls his eyes, and I walk out. But guess what? That penny could have been worth a fortune, and that brings us to the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. More specifically, a double die obverse error. Fancy term, right? It basically means the coin's design was accidentally stamped twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and the date. If you've got a 1972 penny with extra thick letters or a blurry-looking "In God We Trust," congratulations! You might just have a life-changing piece of copper. Most 1972 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and Philly didn't use a mint mark back then. So, not every 1972 no-mint mark penny is worth a fortune. But, if you find one with a strong double die error, buckle up, because collectors are willing to throw some serious cash your way. First, grab a magnifying glass. You know, that thing your grandma used to read fine print on her cereal box. Look closely at Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1972. If the letters look doubled, that's your first clue. Second, check for condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A mint state, MS65, 1972 double die obverse penny is the one fetching those $1 million price tags. But even if yours is a little worn, it could still be worth thousands. The Holy Grail, worth up to $1.80 million. MS60 to MS64, still a solid find, ranging from $10,000 to $100,000 if it's been passed around in people's pockets. Expect anywhere from $100 to $1,000. Not too shabby for a coin that originally cost a single cent. Do not grab a toothbrush and start scrubbing. Coin collectors are picky, and cleaning a rare coin can actually lower its value. Next, get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, will authenticate your coin and give it an official rating. This is a must if you want top dollar. Then, consider auction houses like Heritage Auctions or selling through online marketplaces like eBay. Just be wary of scammers, there are a lot of fake rare coins floating around. Before you go tearing through your piggy bank, remember, these rare coins are hard to find. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't look. People have literally found $1 million pennies in pocket change before. And even if you don't land a $1.8 million coin, you might stumble upon a different rare penny worth a nice chunk of cash. The incredible story of the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a humble little coin that could turn an average Joe into a millionaire overnight. If you learned something new today, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And hey, next time you drop a penny, maybe pick it up, because who knows? That 1 cent could be your golden ticket. Hey everyone! Imagine this, you're digging through your old coin jar, maybe looking for some loose change to grab a coffee, and boom, you find a penny that could be worth $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single 1976 Lincoln penny is sitting out there with a 7-figure price tag. Makes you want to check under the couch cushions right now, doesn't it? Today, we're talking about this incredible 1976 penny, why it's so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just have one sitting in your collection without even knowing it. So grab your pennies, a magnifying glass, and maybe a snack, because this is going to be a fun ride, alright? So let's dive into the big question, why on earth would a penny from 1976 be worth over $1 million? I mean, I get inflation, but this is next level. First, let's break it down. The 1976 penny was minted in Denver, which you can tell by the little D mint mark just below the year. Now, normally, these pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But here's where things get interesting, some rare error coins from that year were mistakenly struck on a different planchet, or they were made with a unique composition, making them extremely valuable to collectors. And when I say valuable, I mean cha-ching, but that's not all. Condition plays a huge role. If you've got a 1976 D penny that looks like it just rolled out of the mint, that's where you start seeing the big bucks. We're talking about something called mint state condition, which means it's free of scratches, discoloration, and wear. In coin collector language, this is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and anything above 65 is where the magic happens. Make sure it has the little D below the date. If it's shiny, untouched, and crisp, you're in the game. Look for off-center strikes, double dies, where parts of the coin are stamped twice, or any weird-looking textures. Some error coins were struck on different planchets, meaning their weight might be slightly off from the standard 3.11 grams. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Jim, was going through his late grandfather's old coin collection. He had a shoebox full of pennies, most of them just regular old pocket change. But one caught his eye. It was a 1976 D penny that looked practically brand new. Long story short, he took it to a coin dealer, got it authenticated, and boom, it was an ultra-rare high-grade specimen worth nearly 6 figures. Talk about a good day, right? So how do you cash in if you think you have one? Step 1. Don't spend it at the vending machine. Step 2. Get it graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Step 3. If it's a jackpot coin, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers could help you fetch top dollar. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1976 D penny worth $1.1 million. Who knew something so small could hold such an insane value? So the next time you're sorting through your change, remember, your next $1 million find could be sitting right in your pocket. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's get rich together, one penny at a time. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we turn pocket change into potential treasure. If you've ever tossed a penny aside, thinking it's worthless, you might want to rethink that, especially if it's a 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny. This tiny copper beauty is worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth more than a mansion. So, before you roll up that jar of coins and take it to the bank, stick around because you might just have a hidden fortune lying around. And now, let's get into it. Why is this 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth so much? Well, in 1982, the US Mint made a significant change. They switched from 95% copper pennies to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies were mistakenly made without a mint mark and retained the full copper composition. And because errors like this are rare, collectors go absolutely wild for them. You're at the grocery store, and the cashier hands you some change. You barely glance at it before shoving it in your pocket. Later, while sitting on the couch, you idly start sorting through your change. Then, bam! You spot an old, slightly worn 1982 penny. Could it be the one? This is exactly how a lucky collector found theirs. And when it was appraised, the price tag on this small piece of history? A cool $1.20 million. Now, let's talk about how to identify if you have one of these $1 million pennies. First, you want to check the date, 1982, of course. Next, look closely. Does it have a mint mark? If there's no tiny letter under the date, congratulations. You might have something special. But wait, there's one more step. You need to weigh it. The rare and valuable version is solid copper, meaning it should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it's lighter, it's just a regular penny. But if you've got the right weight and no mint mark, you're looking at a serious payday. So, what makes collectors shell out over $1 million for this penny? It all comes down to rarity and condition. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become. And if your coin is in pristine condition, known as mint state, it could fetch top dollar. Collectors and auction houses are constantly on the lookout for these rare finds, making them one of the most sought-after coins in modern history. Now, before you rush off to dump out your coin jar, let me give you some tips. If you think you found one, don't clean it. I repeat, do not scrub, polish, or try to make it look shinier. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state. Next, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. And if you really want to cash in, consider putting it up for auction where serious collectors can bid on it. I know. It sounds crazy that a simple penny could be worth more than a sports car. But that's the beauty of coin collecting, hidden gems are everywhere. And who knows? Maybe the next time you're counting change at the gas station, you'll stumble upon $1 million treasure. Alright, coin lovers, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next episode, where we uncover another coin that could change your life. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin, drop your story in the comments below, I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your pockets be filled with hidden treasures. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. What if I told you that a tiny piece of change hiding in your pocket, your old piggy bank, or even deep in your couch cushions could be worth a whopping $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard me right. One little penny. And not just any penny, we're talking about the legendary 1964 D Lincoln penny. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in sight, let me walk you through why this particular coin is so special, how you can spot one, and what makes it worth so much. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're gonna be checking every single penny you come across like a detective on a mission. Well, first off, 1964 was a unique year in US coin history. The mint was producing coins in massive numbers, but there were also a lot of changes happening behind the scenes. This was around the time the US was transitioning away from silver in certain coins, and the Denver Mint, where our star penny was made, was cranking out millions of these little copper beauties. Not all 1964 D pennies are created equal. Some of them have rare errors or special characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. One of the most famous errors is the doubled die variety. If you've got a 1964 D penny with doubling on Lincoln's face, the lettering, or even the date, congratulations, you might just be holding a jackpot in your hands condition. Most pennies have lived a rough life, tossed in pockets, dropped on sidewalks, maybe even chewed on by a toddler. Hey, it happens. But if you happen to find a 1964 D penny in pristine condition, known as mint state or even better, graded MS67 or higher, you're looking at serious cash. Speaking of serious cash, let's talk numbers. A regular, worn-out 1964 D penny might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But a rare, high-quality one? Oh, my friends, that's where the magic happens. One of these beauties recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million at auction. Can you imagine buying a soda with a penny and then realizing it was worth more than a mansion? That's the kind of stuff coin collectors dream about. Now, I've got to tell you a quick personal story. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, and we stumbled upon an old coffee can full of pennies. She told me they'd been sitting there since the 70s. So naturally, I did what any coin nerd would do, I dumped them out and started inspecting each one like a mad scientist. And guess what? No $1 million penny, but I did find a 1943 steel penny, which was still a cool find. But that experience stuck with me because it reminded me that you never know what kind of treasures are hiding right under your nose. First, grab a magnifying glass and check for any doubling on the details. Then, look at the condition. Does it have a nice, shiny, uncirculated look? Or does it look like it's survived a zombie apocalypse? If you think it could be worth something, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That's the best way to know if you've got a life-changing coin. Alright, before you run off to check your penny stash, here's your mission. Start looking through your spare change, check those old jars, and maybe even give Grandma a call. You never know what she might have tucked away. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Who knows? The next video might just help you find another hidden fortune. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into your pocket change and turn pennies into paydays. Today, we're talking about a seemingly ordinary penny, the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, that is worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that could buy you a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or just fund your snack addiction for life. Before you go frantically digging through your couch cushions, let's break it all down. What makes this penny so valuable? How do you know if you have one? And what should you do if you strike gold, or in this case, copper? Alright, let's start with a quick history lesson, but don't worry, I'll make it fun. In 1980, the US Mint was churning out Lincoln pennies like hotcakes. At that time, pennies were still primarily made of copper, and the Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark, which was normal for that era. So, if there's no mint mark under the year, it means the coin was produced in Philly. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so what's the big deal? Well, here's where it gets juicy. Most of these 1980 pennies are worth, well, a penny. But a select few have an ultra-rare error or a unique quality that makes them astronomically valuable. Some have dramatic doubling on the date or lettering, while others have rare off-metal strikes or misalignments. One of these rare errors was sold for $1.4 million at auction. Imagine going to buy a soda with a penny and realizing you just spent $1 million coin. Talk about heartbreak. Let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years ago, I found a 1980 no mint mark penny in my grandpa's old coin jar. My heart started racing. I thought I was about to be rich. I ran to check it under a magnifying glass, but nope, just a regular penny. But hey, that moment of excitement was worth it. And that's the fun of coin collecting, you never know when you might hit the jackpot. First, check the condition. If your penny looks like it just left the mint, you're on the right track. Next, look for errors, double strikes, misprints, or any other oddities. If you think you have something special, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally spend a fortune at the vending machine. Now, what should you do if you actually find one? First, don't panic. Well, maybe panic a little, but in a good way. Then, get it authenticated, find a reputable coin dealer, and consider auctioning it to the highest bidder. This is life-changing money we're talking about here. Alright, folks, that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss out on future videos where we uncover more hidden treasures. And hey, if you find a rare penny after watching this, drop a comment. I want to hear all about it. Alright, folks, let me ask you a question. Have you ever dropped a penny and thought, it's just a penny, and walked away? Well, what if I told you that one little penny, one tiny 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth a life-changing $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right. That's a mansion, a dream vacation, or like a million McChicken sandwiches. So today, we're diving deep into the mystery and madness behind this rare and valuable coin. Why is it worth so much? What makes it special? And most importantly, could you have one sitting in your couch cushions right now? Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny you've ever touched. Trust me. The 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny was just your average, run-of-the-mill penny. Or so people thought. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it has no mint mark, but that's not what makes it special. What does? A rare doubling error known as a double die variety. Basically, the coin was struck twice, slightly off, creating a noticeable doubling on Lincoln's ear and parts of the lettering. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so it's got a little extra flair. How does that make it worth more than my car? Great question. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, which is a fancy word for people who stare at coins way too much, go absolutely wild for these kinds of errors. The more dramatic and clear the doubling, the higher the value, but here's where things get really crazy. In 2023, one of these bad boys in top-notch condition, graded MS68, sold for an eye-popping $1.5 million. Why? Well, finding a 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny in near-perfect condition is like finding a unicorn at your local gas station. The combination of rarity, error, and collector demand sent the value through the roof. Wait. I have a bunch of 1984 pennies. How do I know if I've struck gold? Great question. First, grab a magnifying glass. Or, if you don't have one, just squint really hard. Check Lincoln's ear. If it looks doubled or slightly shadowed, you might be onto something. Also, check the word Liberty and the date 1984. If they look doubled, you could be holding a treasure in your hand, and here's where my personal story comes in. A few years ago, I was sorting through a big jar of coins my grandpa had saved. You know, one of those oversized pickle jars filled to the brim. I figured I'd just roll them up, take them to the bank, and cash out for a crisp $10 bill. But as I was sifting through, I found a 1984 penny with some odd doubling. I thought, no way, this could be it. My heart started racing. I felt like I was Indiana Jones discovering some ancient relic. I ran to my computer, did some research, and compared it with high-value examples. Sadly, mine wasn't the $1 million jackpot, but it was still worth about $20, which is, let's be honest, a huge upgrade from 1 cent. First, never underestimate the power of a simple penny. Second, always check your pocket change. And third, subscribe to this channel because I'm constantly dropping knowledge on coins that could make you rich. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows? Your next penny could be worth more than a luxury car. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could change your life. I'm serious, some of these pennies are worth more than a sports car, a house, or even your entire retirement fund. And today, we're diving deep into one of the most shocking discoveries yet, the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's valued at a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, you heard that right. $1.6 million. Now before you start rating your couch cushions and flipping every penny in your piggy bank, let's break down exactly what makes this particular coin so special, how you can identify it, and most importantly, how you might get your hands on one. Alright, let's kick things off with a little story. So, a few months ago, I was at a local flea market, just browsing around, when I overheard an older guy talking about a penny he sold for a ridiculous amount of money. Naturally, my ears perked up because, well, pennies usually aren't worth much beyond, a cent. But then, he said something that made my heart skip a beat. It was a 2013 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, and I sold it for over $1 million. I turned around so fast, I nearly knocked over a table of vintage postcards. I had to know more. And that's when I started digging into this crazy coin. So what's the deal with this 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Here's the breakdown. Most 2013 pennies were minted with a D, Denver, or P, Philadelphia, mint mark, or even an S4 proof coins from San Francisco. But on rare occasions, some pennies end up with no mint mark at all. And usually, that's not a big deal except when it's an error that shouldn't exist. In this case, the missing mint mark is part of a rare misstrike that occurred during a transition in the minting process. A regular 2013 penny is, well, a penny. But if you happen to find one of these rare, no mint mark versions, especially in pristine condition, we're talking life-changing money. One of these sold at auction for $1.6 million. Why? Because serious collectors love a good mystery, and this coin is a head-scratcher for numismatists everywhere. First, grab a magnifying glass, because squinting at tiny letters is just part of the coin collector life. Look right under Lincoln's portrait. If there's no P, D, or S and the rest of the coin looks normal, sharp details, clear date, no signs of tampering, you might just have a winner. If you do find one, don't clean it. I know it's tempting to make it look shiny and new, but cleaning a valuable coin can actually destroy its worth. Instead, put it in a protective case and get it evaluated by a professional grader. Trust me, it's worth the effort, alright? So let's talk about what this means for you. Should you start hoarding every 2013 penny you come across? Maybe. But more importantly, this is a reminder that rare and valuable coins can show up anywhere: your pocket, a jar in the attic, even that old drawer in grandma's house that hasn't been opened since 1999. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep looking. Now, before we wrap this up, I've got a question for you. What's the most interesting or valuable coin you've ever found? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about other coins that could be worth a small fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big discovery. Alright, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find some spare change for a vending machine snack, and boom, you pull out an old, dusty penny. You're about to toss it back into the abyss of forgotten coins, but wait. What if I told you that tiny, seemingly worthless copper coin could actually be worth $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the rarest, most valuable pennies in the world. And if you've got one, well, let's just say you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. First off, why is this particular penny so valuable? Well, the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny comes with a very unique backstory. Normally, pennies are stamped with a small letter indicating where they were minted, like a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But in 1988, something wild happened. A small batch of pennies was produced without any mint mark. This wasn't just some everyday factory slip-up. It was a rare error that collectors absolutely go crazy for. Think about it like this. Imagine a big-name sneaker brand accidentally releases a shoe with the wrong logo. Suddenly, that mistake makes the shoe 10 times more valuable because it's one of a kind. That's exactly what happened with the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It's like the sneakerhead world but for coin collectors, and let me tell you, these folks will pay top dollar for rare finds like this. And now, before you start raiding your piggy bank, let's talk about what to look for. The most important thing is checking the coin's features. First, you need to see if your 1988 penny has absolutely no mint mark under the year. If it does, you're out of luck. But if it doesn't, you might have struck gold, well, copper, technically, but you get what I mean. Another thing to check is the FG initials on the reverse side of the penny. That stands for Frank Gasparo, the designer of the Lincoln Memorial image. If the font looks slightly different or misplaced, that could mean you have an error coin worth a ton of money. The value. So, why is this little penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. There are only a handful of these known to exist, and hardcore collectors are willing to pay huge sums to own one. In recent years, one of these bad boys sold at auction for close to $1.7 million, and experts believe its value could climb even higher. Finding one of these is like winning the lottery. However, it's not impossible. I actually have a story that proves you should always check your change. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, was cleaning out his car when he found an old penny stuck between the seats. He didn't think much of it until he randomly decided to look up rare coins online. Turns out, he had a valuable error penny. Now, was it the 1988 no mint mark penny? Sadly, no. But he still ended up selling it for over $1,000. Not bad for something that was basically lost in a sea of fast food wrappers. Always check your pennies. You never know when you might have a small fortune sitting right under your nose. And if you do find a 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, do yourself a favor, get it appraised, and maybe even take a trip to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally spend it on a pack of gum. Alright, before we wrap things up, let's do a quick recap. The 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare error coin that can be worth up to $1.7 million. It's valuable because of its missing mint mark and unique characteristics. If you think you have one, get it checked out because it could be life-changing money. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual or rare coin. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next person cashing in on $1 million penny. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Or maybe you're just here because you found a weird-looking penny in your couch cushions and heard it might be worth a fortune. Either way, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about one of the most shocking, jaw-dropping, life-changing coins out there, the 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent worth enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, or about 900 million gumballs. And today, we're diving deep into why this tiny copper coin is worth so much and how you might just have one hiding in your pocket. Stick around, because this is a story you don't want to miss. Normally, coins have a little letter on them that tells you where they were made. D4 Denver, S4 San Francisco, and so on. But if you take a close look at some 1979 pennies, you'll notice nothing. Nada. Zip. Just good old honest Abe staring at you like he knows something you don't. And he does. See, in 1979, the Philadelphia Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies, but, for some reason, they didn't stamp them with a mint mark. This was a common practice for Philly, but not all no mint mark pennies are valuable. So what makes this one so special? Here's where it gets interesting. A tiny batch of these pennies was struck with a rare and distinct error, a doubling effect known as a double diaburse. This means some details on Lincoln's portrait, especially around the words Liberty and In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. And that tiny mistake? That's what turns an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my buddy Joe, who knows absolutely nothing about coin collecting, found a penny on the sidewalk. It looked a little different, so he tossed it into a jar and forgot about it. Fast forward to a week later, we're at a flea market, and he jokingly asks a vendor, "Hey, how much do you think this penny is worth?" The guy takes one look at it and nearly drops his coffee. Turns out, it was a rare no-mint mark error penny from 1979. Now, unfortunately, Joe's wasn't the $1 million variety, but he still walked away with a couple $100 for what he thought was just pocket change. Moral of the story? Check your change, people. Well, grab a magnifying glass and look closely. If you spot clear doubling on the lettering and Lincoln's features, you might be holding a fortune in your hand. But here's the catch, not all doubling is valuable. Some are just common errors, but the strong, noticeable doubling is what gets collectors excited. If you think you've got a winner, don't just spend it on a soda. Take it to a coin expert or send it in for professional grading. The highest graded versions of this penny, in pristine condition, have sold for up to $1.8 million at auctions. That's not just lunch money, that's life-changing money. The incredible, unbelievable, yet totally real story of the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? And just imagine, right now, there could be one of these rare pennies sitting in your change jar, under your couch, or even in your pocket. Now, before you go tearing through your piggy bank, do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on more hidden treasures like this one. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows, you might have the next $1 million penny. Alright, folks, let's talk about something you might have in your pocket right now that could make you a millionaire. That's right, we're talking about the 1969 D Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable that one lucky collector cashed in a whopping $1.1 million for it. Can you imagine finding one of these little beauties in your couch cushions? Today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin worth so much, how to spot one, and of course, a little story about my own experience with coin collecting. Trust me, you'll want to hear this one. Well, most people don't think twice about pennies. They see a copper coin, maybe toss it in a jar, or worse, ignore it on the ground. But this little guy? It's like winning the lottery. If the lottery was hiding in your pocket change, the mystery behind the 1969 D penny first, the D mint mark means this penny was minted in Denver. Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool, but why is it worth more than $1? Here's the deal, it all comes down to a few things: rarity, condition, and a little something called double diaburse. Double diaburse means that during the minting process, the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a slightly blurry, double vision effect on the date and lettering. This kind of error is rare, and collectors love rare mistakes, kind of like when your mom says your full name, and you know you're in trouble, but somehow, that moment becomes legendary. And speaking of mistakes, here's a quick story about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. I once found what I thought was a rare penny, got all excited, even told my friends I was retiring early. Turns out, it was just a regular old penny with some gum residue making the numbers look doubled. Let's just say my dreams of an early retirement ended real quick. How to identify a real 1969 D penny worth $1.10 million? So, how do you know if you're holding a jackpot penny or just another piece of spare change? Here's what to look for. The D under the year 1969, Denver Mint, is key. The numbers and letters should appear slightly doubled, especially in the word Liberty and the date. Coins in mint condition, little to no wear, are the ones raking in the big bucks. If you find one, do not go spending it on a vending machine snack. Take it to a coin expert or get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC, those are the big leagues for coin grading. How much can this penny actually fetch? A verified, high-grade 1969 D penny with the double diaburse sold for $1.1 million at an auction. That's 110 million regular pennies, in case you were wondering. Even pennies in lesser condition can still sell for thousands. So yeah, check your change, you never know what's hiding in your wallet. Those dusty jars in your grandma's house? Gold mine potential. Banks give out rolls of pennies, buy some, search through, return the rest. It's like treasure hunting, but legally. Sometimes people unknowingly sell rare coins for pennies, literally. Folks, that's the inside scoop on the 1969 D. Lincoln penny. Who knew a tiny copper coin could be worth over $1 million? Now, if you're inspired to go digging through your spare change, let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on coins that could make you rich. Hit that like button, share this with a friend, and I'll see you next time, hopefully with $1 million penny in your hand. Hey everyone! Imagine digging through your old coin jar, expecting to find a couple of pennies for the vending machine, and bam, you stumble upon a single penny worth a whopping $1.2 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, stick around because today, we're talking about the 1979 D. Lincoln penny, how to spot one, and why it's worth a fortune. Plus, I've got a funny little story about my own coin collecting adventure that might just make you want to raid your piggy bank after this video. First, let's talk about that little D mint mark. That means this penny was minted in Denver, and while millions of these pennies were made, only a handful have the rare features that make them extremely valuable. And no, it's not made of solid gold, though at this point, it might as well be. The first key reason why this penny is worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million is due to an extremely rare minting error. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the coin blank was not the typical copper and zinc mixture but something much rarer, like a bronze or silver planchet left over from previous years. These kinds of mistakes are what drive collectors absolutely wild. Another big reason is the double die error. This means that some of these pennies have a doubling effect, especially on Lincoln's face or the lettering. If you take a magnifying glass and check the word Liberty or the date 1979, and it looks like it has a shadow, congrats, you might have struck gold, or in this case, $1 million penny. Now, let me share a little personal story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage, the kind of place where you find old newspapers, rusted tools, and things that look like they belong in a history museum. He hands me a dusty old coffee can filled with pennies and tells me, "Go through these, maybe you'll find treasure." I laughed, thinking, yeah right, Grandpa, but lo and behold, I found an old wheat penny that turned out to be worth a few $100. My grandpa was less impressed than I was, though. He just shrugged and said, I used to have a whole roll of those. Moral of the story? Check your old coins. Okay, back to our $1 million penny. If you're wondering how to know if your 1979 D penny is the one collectors are fighting over, here's what to do. Use a magnifying glass and see if there's any doubling on the letters or numbers. A normal penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but if yours is heavier, it could be made from a rare planchet. If your penny looks like it just left the mint, it's going to be worth way more than one that looks like it survived a garbage disposal. If you think you've hit the jackpot, take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it certified. If all of this sounds like a lot of work, don't worry, just start by checking your pocket change. You never know when one of these valuable coins might sneak into your hands. A tiny little 1979 D. Lincoln penny could be worth more than a brand new sports car, a house, or even your college tuition. Who knew a penny could be so powerful? If you've got old coins lying around, now's the time to start hunting. Before you go, let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? Or do you have a stash of pennies that you're about to go through right now? Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more hidden treasure tips. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could make you richer than you ever imagined. If you've ever tossed a penny aside thinking it's worthless, you might want to reconsider because today, we're talking about a 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a penny, just 1 cent, worth over $1 million. Now tell me, when was the last time you checked your pocket change? Alright, let's jump right in. First things first, what's so special about this 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? At first glance, it looks like your average everyday penny. But hidden within its tiny copper frame is something that collectors are willing to pay big money for. You see, most 1971 pennies were made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and usually, they have a little mint mark underneath the year. But this rare gem? No mint mark at all. And that's where things get interesting. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was going through my old coin jar, the one we all have filled with random pennies, nickels, and maybe a rogue paperclip. I started flipping through some pennies, and for a split second, I thought I found something special. It was a 1971 penny with no visible mint mark. My heart started racing. I felt like I had just won the lottery. I ran to check online, dreaming about my future millionaire status. Well, turns out, mine was just a regular OL penny. But hey, that thrill? That's what makes coin collecting so much fun. It all comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. This penny was mistakenly struck in a way that made it unique. Experts believe that only a handful of these exist, making them extremely rare. And when something is rare in the coin world, collectors will do just about anything to get their hands on it. Just because you find a 1971 penny with no mint mark doesn't mean you've struck gold. Most of them are still just regular pennies. What you need to look for is a combination of features, including being struck on the wrong metal planchet, having a double die error, or being in pristine condition. If you think you have one, take it to a professional grader to get it verified. Because if you do, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now, let's talk value. The highest price ever recorded for one of these rare 1971 no mint mark pennies? A staggering $1.3 million at auction. Why so much? Well, serious collectors don't just want any old coin, they want the best of the best, and they're willing to pay top dollar for it. It's like finding an original, first edition comic book of Superman's debut. Rare, desirable, and worth a lot of money. Simple: start checking your pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, and even old coin jars. People have literally found valuable coins just lying around in their homes. Imagine picking up a penny from under your couch and realizing it could buy you a house. Not a bad day, right? Before we wrap this up, let me leave you with one last thought. Coin collecting isn't just about making money, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovering something rare, and the stories behind every coin. And who knows? Maybe the next $1 million penny is already in your possession, just waiting to be found. So if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and hidden coin treasures you need to know about. Don't forget to drop a comment below. Who knows, your next coin find might just be the subject of our next video. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. What if I told you that a penny from your spare change could be worth $1.4 million? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what happened with the 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Today, we're diving deep into this unexpected jackpot, how to spot one, and what makes it so incredibly valuable. Oh, and stick around because I've got a wild personal story about almost losing a valuable coin to a vending machine disaster. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. What's up with this penny? Most pennies from 2006 were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. But here's where things get interesting: not all no mint mark pennies are created equal. Some rare 2006 Lincoln pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, featured an unusual doubling error, or had a pristine, untouched condition that made collectors go wild. While most 2006 pennies from Philly have no mint mark, the valuable ones have distinct die errors or unique metal compositions. Some even have an ultra-rare misstrike that sets them apart. Coins in MS67 plus condition, basically flawless under magnification, are the ones pulling in the big bucks. If your penny looks like it was freshly minted yesterday, you might be holding a fortune. Look out for double dies, off-center strikes, or even a wrong metal composition. Some of these mistakes make the 2006 penny a collector's dream. How did a regular penny end up being worth more than a fancy sports car? It all comes down to collector demand. Rare errors and perfect condition coins create a feeding frenzy in the numismatic world. Imagine a bunch of collectors in a bidding war, throwing down cash like they're in a high-stakes poker game. That's how this little penny skyrocketed to a whopping $1.40 million. Now, let me tell you a personal story that'll have you double-checking every penny in your pocket. A few years ago, I found what I thought was just an ordinary coin in my car's cup holder. It looked shinier than usual, so I decided to keep it. A week later, I almost used it in a vending machine to buy a soda. But at the last second, I stopped. Something told me to check it out. After some research, I realized I had a rare penny worth a few $1,000s. Now, imagine if that had been the $1.4 million penny. I would have been crying over a 75-cent soda. That unassuming little penny in your couch cushion could be your golden ticket. If you find a 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny, take a closer look, because you never know, it might just change your life. Before you rush off to inspect your coin jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more videos coming up on hidden treasures in your pocket change, how to spot valuable coins, and strategies to build your coin collection like a pro. Let's turn those pennies into paydays together. Alright, folks. Picture this: you're at the grocery store, you get some change back, and there it is, a 2017 D Lincoln penny. You toss it in your pocket, thinking, just another penny. But hold up. What if I told you that one of these bad boys could be worth $1.5 million? Yep, you heard that right, a single penny that could change your life. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins worth money, hidden treasures, and how your loose change might just make you rich. If you love money, history, or just the thrill of finding something valuable, you're in the right place. So, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dive into the wild world of the 2017 D Lincoln penny. So, what makes this 2017 D penny special? It's not just any regular penny, it's a rare mint error that makes collectors go crazy. Think of it like a baseball card with a printing mistake, except this one's pure copper and worth a fortune. The Denver Mint produced billions of pennies in 2017, but a handful of them came out with a major minting error. And let me tell you, when a mint messes up, collectors pay big bucks to get their hands on those rare mistakes. One of the biggest errors found in this penny is the double die obverse, where Lincoln's face and lettering appear slightly doubled. There are also rumors of a misaligned die strike, which means the design is slightly off-center. When these errors happen, the value of the coin skyrockets. Now, before you start flipping your couch cushions for change, let's talk about what to look for. If you have a 2017 D Lincoln penny, here's how to check if it's worth serious cash. If his profile looks like it's got a slight shadow or double outline, you might have a double die error. If the words Liberty or In God We Trust look a little blurry or duplicated, that's another sign. Errors on the back, like a weak strike or misalignment, can also increase value. Some of these rare pennies were mistakenly struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc, making them heavier than normal pennies. Congratulations! You might be sitting on a goldmine in copper form. Where can you sell it and how much can you make? If you're lucky enough to find a 2017 D Lincoln penny with one of these errors, here's what you can do: eBay and online auctions. Some of these coins have already sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and if yours is in pristine condition, you could see offers in the six-figure range. While they won't pay top dollar like an auction, they'll still offer big bucks if you've got the right error. Send your penny to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. If they confirm it's a rare mint error, you're looking at serious money, a whopping $1.5 million in a private auction. Can you imagine? 1 second, it's in someone's pocket, the next, they're a millionaire. Talk about a lucky day. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was one of those guys who never cared about loose change. One day, he saw a video, kinda like this one, got curious, and started checking his pennies. Guess what? He found a double die error penny from a different year that ended up selling for $5,000. Now, I don't know about you, but finding an extra $5,000 lying around? That's vacation money, bill money, or even a down payment on a car. You never know what kind of treasure is hiding in plain sight. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 2017 D Lincoln penny that's worth $1.5 million. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another valuable coin update. Also, drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Maybe you've got a hidden fortune sitting in a jar at home. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortunes. If you've ever been handed a penny and thought, ugh, just another worthless coin, then stick around because today, we're talking about a 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny that is worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and still leave you with enough cash to never have to pick up another penny again. So, before you start dumping your coin jar into a vending machine, make sure you don't have this valuable little gem hiding in there. Let's dive in. Alright, let's set the scene. It's 1994. Bill Clinton is in the White House, The Lion King is crushing it in theaters, and gas costs about $1 a gallon. Meanwhile, over at the US Mint, some peculiar pennies are rolling off the presses, pennies with no mint mark. Most people don't even notice, but fast forward 30 years, and collectors are losing their minds over these rare finds. First off, let's talk about the missing mint mark. Normally, pennies struck in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but in rare cases, certain errors and misprints can make them incredibly valuable. This 1994 no mint mark penny is one of those rare errors that collectors are willing to pay big money for. And now, let's talk about what you should look for. If you've got a 1994 penny, grab a magnifying glass and check for these signs. A missing letter under the date can be the difference between a 1-cent coin and a $1.6 million jackpot. If your penny looks like it just left the factory, it's way more valuable than one that's been chilling at the bottom of a couch for decades. Some rare error pennies are made from the wrong metal, making them even more sought after. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was going through his old childhood coin collection. He figured, these are just pennies, and almost took them to the Coinstar machine. But at the last second, he decided to Google some rare pennies, and guess what? He found a 1994 no mint mark penny worth nearly 6 figures. Now, Dave may not have found the $1 million version, but that one penny alone paid off his car. Not bad for something most of us ignore, right? Seriously, collectors want that natural look. Scrubbing it could take off valuable details. You'll want a grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify it. Rare coins sell best in high-end auctions where serious collectors bid against each other. There are still some of these pennies out there waiting to be found. So next time you get change from the store, check those pennies before you throw them in a jar. Alright, folks, that's it for today's deep dive into the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny. If you liked this video and want to see more tips on finding rare coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin before. Who knows? Your next penny might just be worth millions. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever casually emptied your pockets, glanced at your spare change, and thought, just a bunch of pennies? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, you heard me right. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that has collectors going absolutely wild. But before we crack open this treasure chest of numismatic knowledge, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss out on more tips about coins worth life-changing money. Who knows? Your next paycheck could be hiding in your couch cushions. Now, let's get into it. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny is, at first glance, just another penny. It has the same classic design, good old Abraham Lincoln staring off into the distance on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. So what makes this one special? First, let's talk about the no mint mark situation. In 1967, the US Mint was on a mission to stop collectors from hoarding coins just because of their mint marks. So, to even the playing field, they left mint marks off all coins that year. That means every 1967 penny you find will be missing a mint mark, but that doesn't automatically make it worth millions. What really sets the $1.7 million penny apart is its rarity and unique errors. Some of these rare versions have striking mistakes, like double die errors, off-center strikes, or even weird compositions. Imagine a chef accidentally adding sugar instead of salt to a dish. Sometimes, those mistakes turn out to be legendary. Let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Joe, was doing some spring cleaning when he found an old jar of pennies. He started Googling valuable pennies just for fun, and lo and behold, he came across the 1967 no mint mark penny. He checked his jar, and bam, he found one that looked suspiciously like the ones collectors were going crazy over. Long story short, after a professional coin grading and some high-stakes coin dealer negotiations, Joe walked away with a check big enough to buy a brand new card. If your penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it's worth way more. A well-worn penny might still have some value, but serious collectors want that crisp, shiny, fresh from the mint look. The big money pennies usually have double die errors, meaning the lettering or Lincoln's profile might look slightly duplicated. Get yourself a magnifying glass and examine your coin closely. Some of these rare pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they might weigh slightly more or less than a standard penny. A small scale could help you figure that out. If you think you've hit the jackpot, don't just take your buddy's word for it. Send your penny to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it officially certified. That's the difference between selling it for a few $100 or a life-changing amount of cash. And if you're wondering where you might find one of these valuable coins, start with your piggy bank, your grandparents' old coin collection, or even a simple trip to your local flea market. I've even heard stories of people getting rare pennies as change at the gas station. Imagine handing over a $1.7 million coin for a pack of gum. Ouch! The 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might just be the unsung hero hiding in your change jar. It's incredible how something so small can be worth so much, and now you know exactly what to look for before you go diving into your coin collection. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you learned something new today, drop a comment if you have any cool coin stories to share, and of course, subscribe for more insider tips on valuable coins. Who knows? The next video might just help you find a coin that turns you into a millionaire. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change. If you love money, history, and the thrill of striking it rich, you're in the right place. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, maybe it's one you've had sitting around for years. You're about to toss them into the Coinstar machine when suddenly, you spot something different. A simple, worn-looking 1988 D penny. Nothing special, right? Wrong. That little copper coin could be worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million. That's not just gas money, that's buy a house, quit your job, and vacation in the Bahamas money. Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into what makes this 1988 D Lincoln penny so incredibly valuable, how you can tell if you have one, and what to do if you hit the jackpot. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1988 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as you can tell by the little d right under the date. Now, normally, these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But thanks to a rare and fascinating minting error, one of these bad boys recently sold for a whopping $1.8 million at auction. So what's the deal? It all comes down to something called the FG initials error, short for Frank Gasparo, the guy who designed the reverse of the penny. In 1988, the US Mint was in the process of switching to a new reverse die design for the following year. Some 1988 D pennies were accidentally struck using the 1989 die, creating a subtle but valuable difference. The initials FG on the back of the coin, right by the Lincoln Memorial, are spaced slightly differently compared to the standard 1988 design. Coin collectors and error hunters love anything unique, and this mistake is so rare that only a handful have ever been found in top condition. And when rarity meets demand, boom! You get a $1.8 million penny. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions looking for loose change, let's talk about how to identify if you've got the golden ticket. Grab a magnifying glass. Seriously, this is one of those times where small details matter. Flip your penny over and check the FG initials. If they look slightly different from other 1988 D pennies, meaning they match the 1989 spacing, you might just have hit the numismatic lottery. Condition is everything. The most valuable pennies are in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. If your penny looks like it's been run over by a shopping cart, it's probably not worth millions, but hey, don't lose hope. Even lower-graded versions of this error penny can still fetch thousands of dollars. Now, here's a quick personal story to keep things fun. A friend of mine, let's call him Jake, was absolutely convinced that coin collecting was just for old guys with magnifying glasses. That was until one day when he found an odd-looking 1988 D penny while cleaning out his car. He showed it to me, and I nearly had a heart attack. We checked it under a microscope, and boom, possible error penny. Long story short, he sent it off for grading, and while it didn't hit the $1 million mark, it did sell for a few $1,000s. And let me tell you, Jake is now obsessed with coin hunting. First, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin, even if it looks dirty, can actually lower its value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and put it in a soft cloth or a coin holder. Then, get it checked out by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can tell you if your penny is the real deal and give it an official grade, which determines its value. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the big lesson here. Valuable coins are out there right now, sitting in old jars, junk drawers, and even your spare change cup in the car. The key is knowing what to look for. And that's why you should subscribe to this channel, so you don't miss out on future videos where we uncover more hidden gems worth serious cash. Alright, that's a wrap for today. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin before? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep checking your change, and happy hunting! Alright, folks, let's talk about something that might just change the way you look at pennies forever. You know those little copper coins you casually toss in your car cup holder or ignore on the sidewalk? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth a staggering $1.9 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, a tiny treasure that's turning heads in the coin collecting world. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's just a penny. But let me ask you this, would you still think that if that penny could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, or heck, even a lifetime supply of tacos? Yeah, I didn't think so. So, buckle up, because this little coin has a big story to tell. Let's kick things off with a little history lesson. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in San Francisco, hence the little s mint mark just below the date. This was during the era when pennies were still 95% copper, giving them that rich, classic look we all know and love. Now, at first glance, this penny looks just like any other from the 1950s. But what makes it so special? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and a little bit of luck. While millions of these were made, only a handful exist in pristine condition, and those are the ones that send collectors into a frenzy. One of the biggest factors behind this penny's insane value is its mint state condition. Coin experts use a grading scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being flawless. The 1952 Lincoln penny that recently made headlines was graded at an astonishing MS67+ by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. That's like finding a classic car that's never been driven. The highest recorded auction price for this penny stands at $1.9 million. Yes, a single cent, worth more than a Lamborghini, a beach house, and a first-class trip around the world combined. Imagine pulling that out of your change jar. You'd go from counting pennies to counting millions in a heartbeat. Rare pennies like this become valuable due to demand from collectors. The fewer there are in top condition, the more people are willing to pay. And when a wealthy collector wants it bad enough, the price skyrockets. Now, let me tell you a little personal story. A few years ago, I was going through my grandpa's old coin collection, just out of curiosity. He always had a thing for old coins, and he kept them in this dusty little metal box. As I was digging through, I found a 1952 penny. My heart skipped a beat. Was this the one? The $1 million jackpot? I ran to check it under better light, grabbed a magnifying glass, and no s mint mark. Just a regular 1952 penny worth about a few cents. My dreams of instant wealth? Crushed. But hey, it got me hooked on coin collecting, and here we are today, talking about this incredible find. Check your old coin jars, piggy banks, and even that loose change in your couch cushions. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Look for the s mint mark right below the year. If you don't see it, sorry, no jackpot today. But if you think you found one, get it professionally graded. Condition is everything when it comes to value. Keep an eye on auctions and coin shows. Sometimes, valuable coins turn up in the most unexpected places. Join coin collecting forums and Facebook groups. Trust me, these folks know their stuff and can help you determine if you've struck gold, or in this case, copper. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's a wrap on today's deep dive into the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about hidden gems in your pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin in your collection, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting on a fortune and don't even know it yet. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your change. You never know when you might be holding onto a $1 million penny. See you in the next video.